WA arrived in Blacktown looking to back up last year's historic win over Victoria. Their opponents, a combined side made up of the best players from the Northern Territory, the ACT, Tasmania and Queensland. WAFL umpire Stuart Parry got proceedings underway. The home side were off to a flyer with the first 2 goals before WA steadied and then piled on 5-7 to lead by 17 points at the first break.
Absolutely terrific with the tackling. Lift that tackling because that's when we look real good. Don't let them play Western Australian footy. Make them play contested footy.
The aggressive nature that we started it with was really, really good. We've got to maintain that though.
We've just had some really good opportunities and I think in the end we've just probably rushed a little bit, okay?
WA held the NEAFL goalless in the second term, but failed to fully capitalise, adding just 3 goals and 5 behinds, a half-time margin of 36 points. Skipper Brendan Lee had plenty to say before the start of the third, as WA looked to convert their on-field dominance onto the scoreboard. By three-quarter time, the margin was 9 goals in favour of WA. Monaghan's men well and truly in control.
Keep playing the game in the style that we had for 3 quarters, okay? That's your challenge. Yes, the scoreboard is in our way and we need to make sure that we just don't go all about ourselves, all right?
If we come back strong, finish stronger than them, close the gap by 3 or 4 goals, if not even more, what does it do? What does it say about us as a group? What does it say about a competition, right? Come on. Must finish really strong.
Come on.
The Black Swans added 6 goals in the final quarter to stretch the winning margin to 85 points.
Played a great brand of footy. I'm really proud of it, and Brendan, maybe just have a quick word as well.
Lee tallied 32 disposals as one of WA's best.
It's a good day today. We spoke about it a bit before the game, and although we were all chasing flags back at our home club, that we could do something pretty special today, something pretty memorable. We built on last year and left a little legacy, just a part of the legacy for next year, and something that I hope we go on and build over the next 4 or 5 years, whether I'm playing or you guys are playing.
South Freo spearhead Ben Saunders finished with a bag of 5. But it was his South Freo teammate Ashton Hams who was judged best on ground. His 34 disposals and a goal, earning him the Simpson Medal.
Ashton Hams, and he wins the Simpson Medal.
Pretty proud moment, but I suppose you don't really think of those sort of things too often. Obviously, the big key is going over there for the win, and you always want to play a good game, but I suppose that's an extra bonus. And yeah, it was good to win, but it's better having the win with the boys and celebrating that night.
Hams' name is now up alongside some of the WA greats, men like Brad Hardy, Gary Buckenara, Barry Cable and Polly Farmer, and in more recent times Matt Prittis, Ian Richardson and Paul Johnson.
It's weird actually, I had Brent LeCras message me Saturday night and sort of mentioned a few of the players, and yes, it's weird actually because they're just massive names, and I don't feel a part of that at all, but yeah, it's good to have a laugh with Lecker because he's obviously done it as well, and yeah, it is a good group to be a part of, but nowhere close to their league.
It's another piece of silverware that Hams can add to an already impressive trophy cabinet, highlighted of course with 2 WAFL Premiership medallions. His resume also includes 39 AFL games from 4 seasons on West Coast's list. At the end of last year, Hams made the rare decision to call curtains on his AFL career.
It was a tough decision. Yeah, I thought about it for a long time. The biggest thing, I was sort of in and out a lot with the Eagles, and when I was out I had best of both worlds. I was sort of coming down here for South, who I really love and enjoy playing footy for, and then when I was playing with the Eagles obviously it was great, and then obviously going back to East Perth I just don't think I would have enjoyed it as much. I know they're a good club and all that sort of things, but got all my best mates down here, and that was a big part of it. And really, I've had a few injuries and I've probably only got a couple of years left in me, so it's I just thought it was time just to come down here and enjoy my footy for a couple of years and get a bit fatter, mate, and have a few beers on a Sunday.
Hamsy, come forward, mate. Well done, mate. From my point of view, I thought he probably could have played a lot more at AFL level. They never gave him the opportunity in the back line, and we put him there this year, and he did that in the state game as well. And he's shown he's a class above the WAFL level and could have gone and played a lot more games at AFL level.
This year's AFL alignment model had a bearing on the 27-year-old's decision to quit. As of this season, all West Coast listed players playing WAFL must line up for East Perth.
Yeah, it didn't really sit well with me, having to play for East Perth. Just because I was South Freo and played over 100 games here, it's just would have been pretty hard to put on the East Perth jumper. Not saying, yeah, obviously they're a bad club or anything, but it's just, yeah, I play footy because I enjoy it and with me mates and stuff like that, and it just would have been too hard, I think.
It was a show of loyalty that surprised most WAFL and AFL spectators. But for Hams, it was simple. The South Fremantle Football Club has been his home since moving to the city from Busselton.
Oh, it's, yeah, massive part of my life. Moving up here as a young bloke, as a 16, 17-year-old with my twin brother Kyle. They looked after us so well, moving up here, and Marty Atkins was our first manager, and he was just awesome and looked after us and our family as well. Like, our folks used to come up here every weekend and they were just so good to us. And yeah, I suppose winning a couple of flags with them, and you just have friends for life, and the board and everything, everyone around this club's just fantastic, and yeah, wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Today's WA Day Derby is shaping as a pivotal fixture for South Freo, currently sitting 7th, but win this and they'll draw level with the Sharks and stay in touch with the top 4. But it's a big occasion for another reason. At training on Tuesday night, veteran Kris Miller called in his teammates to announce today's derby will be his 150th and final game for South Fremantle.
Yeah, look, Foundation Day Derby against, you know, my other team, I suppose. So it's, yeah, it's funny how it's worked out. I don't think anyone, including myself, would have thought I would have played 150 games for the Souths. And so for that to happen, and for it to happen on this weekend against East Fremantle is, yeah, pretty amazing actually.
Against his old club, 150th game. It's a great way to go out, and then a great opportunity for other players to step in and fill the void, which is going to be very hard because he's been such a good and dominant player for so long.
Miller becomes the first WAFL footballer to play 150 games for 2 clubs. His name's already on a locker at East Fremantle, where he debuted in round 1 of 1999. He played 153 games as a Shark, winning a best and fairest along the way. His decorated career at South started in 2007. He won 3 best and fairest awards, including in 2009 when he helped the Bulldogs claim the premiership flag. He's the latest of only 6 players in the WAFL's history to play more than 300 games.
He's probably bigger than my 300th almost to play 150 at South here for the second club. So I mean, obviously 150 is 300, but yeah, to become life member of both clubs through my playing efforts, I suppose, is something I'm proud of now, and I think my family and everything, and going forward it will be something that I look back on with fond memories.
His contribution is not limited to what he does on the field. He obviously brings 16 years of experience. He's played with some great players, a lot of great AFL players that Kris Miller will have started with, guys like Simon Black, Shane Woden, Paul Hasleby, these sort of guys that he would have learned a lot from, and he's passed on that knowledge. And Kris has always had a fantastic footy brain.
Youngsters take note. Miller's recipe for longevity is fairly simple.
One of the keys is I've managed myself. I've been injured and sore like every other player, but I suppose I've had the courage to back my ability to play well on the weekend, and just made sure I've got through the week sometimes to make sure I'm at my best for the weekend. I mean, that's what we're here for, to play footy. The training's an important part of it, but I've seen blokes look $1 million on the track and do hamstrings and that sort of thing and not be able to play 4 or 5 weeks. And I'd rather try and look like $1 million on the Saturday and look terrible during the week.